Hey guys, welcome. I know this is not usually the normal type of videos I post on this channel, and it's quite late where I'm at right now. I've just kind of been up thinking about things, and I just wanted to just make a quick video about my disorder and just talk about what it is like living with it, what it is, my experiences, and honestly, I guess I want to give you guys more than anything of my tips and tricks because I know there's not a lot of videos out there or a lot of information that could be really helpful, especially coming from someone that is living with it and deals with it. Especially dealing with this disorder, it's really frustrating. It's really emotional, and sometimes it's just really hard to find some relief. You know what I mean? It's really hard to find some relief. But let's get right into it, guys. So I live with a disorder called hereditary neuropressure palsy, in short, HNPP. Is very specific, and I don't want to say it's rare, but it's just very specific. It's very specific, and it sometimes is just really hard to explain to people what is going on in my body, especially like in a work circumstance, especially just with the people around me. It's just really hard to really voice how I'm feeling because it just again is super specific, and a lot of people don't understand what it feels like unless they're living with it, you know? So if you guys don't know what HMPP is, if you guys are just getting diagnosed or you guys are just kind of learning about this, HMPP basically involves this thing that goes around your nerves called myelin. And if you guys don't know what myelin is, I like to call it the skin of your nerves. It's kind of like a protective coating that really protects what's going on in your nerves. Like, for example, our skin, it protects everything that's in our body. It protects our muscles, it protects our organs, it protects our nerves, our everything, all the above, all our blood vessels, our heart, everything. So basically, living with HMPP, the myelin around our nerves is a lot thinner. Our body just doesn't produce the right amount of myelin needed to really help protect our nerves. So we're really susceptible to pressure. We're really susceptible to a lot more like nerve damage, a lot more nerve issues, a lot of those things, It really affects your outer limbs. And if you guys are living with this, you guys already know, like you guys probably experience symptoms or found out you had something because you either had like foot drop, wrist drop, or just had just like really random numbness and tingling or pain anywhere. It's super random. It's super weird. We'll get into that later, but basically, again, it just we're just a lot more susceptible to pressure. We're a lot more susceptible to anything that kind of involves our nerves. And with that being said, I know a lot of us probably have gotten genetic testing or some type of nerve testing to really figure out what is going on. So basically, when I first got diagnosed, it was sophomore year of high school. I was crossing my legs like crazy. I was just kind of forcing myself to cross my legs. I was like, I'm gonna cross my legs. Like, let's just do it. Even though my leg hurts and it's really numb right now, I'm just gonna keep crossing it. So I kept crossing my legs, and then my legs started getting like really numb, started getting all this like weird tingling, all this weird stuff going on, and after a while it started hurting, and I just noticed that I couldn't lift my foot up all the way. It was just really weird. Like my foot just started kind of going like this, like this, like this, and all of a sudden I couldn't lift it. It just wasn't working. It was super frustrating because I was like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, why doesn't my foot work? What is going on? What is going on with my body? So, I went to the doctors. They sent me to get some testing done. And of course, what did I get that letter in the mail? It said I got HMPP. And when that letter came in, I didn't really know what HMPP meant. I just was like, okay, cool. No big deal. I just found out I have some weird disorder. Cool. No big deal. You know what I mean? It didn't really think much about it. Because at the time, I was just like, okay, foot drop. That's just like the only thing I'm going to experience ever. You know what I mean? But no, we'll get into that later. But it was very frustrating dealing with it. And when I started doing more research at the time, because after a while it just wasn't bouncing back. My foot wasn't getting better. I started trying all these things. My leg was just super numb. My leg just hurt really bad. I was just like, what the hell is going on? I got all these answers, but nothing is working to really help me get some relief. You know what I mean? I was wearing a splint for so long. At the time I was playing sports too, so I couldn't really do a whole lot because like I couldn't use my foot. So it was just like, what the hell is going on? So, I did my research and I started finding all these videos and all these things out there, and it really sent me down a rabbit hole of emotions and a rabbit hole of just like of just being scared. I was really, really scared. I was really nervous. And honestly, to this day, I do get scared still and do get frustrated and I do get a lot of emotions. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard dealing with something like this. And I bet you guys already know that. But not being able to lift my foot for 4 months in high school, it was just super emotional. Like, I remember one night I was just up like really late, like just massaging my legs super, super hard because I couldn't feel it. I was just crying all night. I just literally was like laying on the ground, like just like digging into my legs, just like screaming and crying. Like, it was just a lot. Like, I was having like just a really hard time. And, eventually it bounced back. And I really do want to emphasize this, guys. If you're living with this disorder, things will get better and you will heal. It's just up to you to really take care of yourself. It is really up to you to really ease things when stuff like this happens. Like, when you have really bad symptoms like this, if you have really bad experiences where you can't lift a limb or you can't move something, really take care of yourself and start putting in the work to prevent it from getting worse. Okay, guys? Because that is what's going to make it worse. If you already have something going on in your nerves and you keep adding more pressure and you keep adding more and more and more and more, it is just going to make it last longer. It can get it damaged, and it can even get damaged permanently, guys. I do want to say that, and I'm not trying to scare you guys saying that, but it's just something, it's just the reality. It is really just the reality of things, that you just have to take care of yourself more than anything, okay? But anyways, it bounced back. I got better. I know my foot's right here, but look, I can lift my foot. It's fine. I still have some, I guess, like atrophy. Like, my legs are not like as bulky as they can be. But, like, I'm here. I'm living and my legs work and I'm happy about it. So, life went on, and, as things kind of progressed, I started noticing like more things that I thought were just like normal. Like, I thought they were just like every person experienced it. Like, for example, like my fingertips would just get numb. Like, I would write, and like if I write too long, like my hand would get really tired, and like my fingers would get really numb. You know what I mean? And I just thought, everyone experienced that because, you're writing for so long, everyone's experienced the same thing. No, it was just something that it was part of my disorder. And I also noticed too, like, even just growing up, like, I kind of would wake up and I would sleep on my like side wrong, and I couldn't like lift, you get that drop shoulder and you can't lift it up all the way. I noticed that it would take like 2 or 3 days to kind of bounce back to get to like the full, up and down movement. And I thought that was just normal, but no, people usually kind of recover from that like throughout the day rather than like 2 or 3 days later. You know what I mean? So yeah, all these things were like normal in my head. I was like, cool, it's just normal. But like, again, as things kind of progressed, I started getting older. I started experiencing more and more of these symptoms. Like, I started noticing, like, if I lit a lighter for too long, if I lit a lighter multiple times, like my fingertips get numb. Actually, like right now as I'm speaking, my fingertips are kind of numb. And, like, if I sit long enough, like, I noticed, like, when I started driving, my legs would start hurting really bad. Like, if I drive for too long, I had to get up and stretch and, like, really move around because my legs just start getting really numb and they hurt really bad. And I bet you guys experience similar things. And I really do want to say this too, guys. Everyone's symptoms are different, okay? Everyone's symptoms are different. People can have a lot more worse symptoms, or people can have symptoms at all. Like, some people can have a lot more symptoms in their legs rather than their arms, or even vice versa, or people can only have it in their finger. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different areas this can affect, and it can affect every single area, no matter like what. Like, that's just part of our disorder. It can affect any area of your body, but some areas are just a little bit more difficult than others. And that's another thing I want to emphasize too, it just being really aware of where those areas are at, because that's going to really help you in the long run, okay? But anyways, didn't really deal with anything for a while, and I think this is really the reason why I'm making this video, because of what I'm dealing with right now. But in December, about a little bit over 6 months ago, I woke up wrong, and my arm, I couldn't lift it up all the way. Like, this arm, I couldn't lift it up all the way. It was, I only could lift it like this. I like only could lift it like that far. It was super weird, and I got really anxious. I was like, I slept on it wrong. I got like frozen shoulder, like something's wrong with me. So I started like stretching a lot. I started massaging my arm really hard. And I started noticing things just got really, really bad. Like, things just started getting worse. And this was about, like, again, like 6 months ago. So I was overstretching. I was doing all these things, and my arm just slowly started going like this. And I couldn't lift it any higher. I couldn't lift it any higher. And then all of a sudden, guess what? My wrist stopped working. And still to this day, I do have wrist drop, but I can move my arm. I was able to move my arm back to normal about like 4 months later. Again, I know that sounds like a long time, but nerve stuff really takes a long time, guys, to heal. I do want to say that as well. Living with this disorder, you really have to come into the reality of if something does happen, it's going to take a second to heal. But that healing journey is for you to really take a step back, for you to really kind of go inwards and just really kind of make some changes. Okay. So again, I was over using myself, started massaging weird, and the reason why my wrist stopped working is because I was massaging really hard up in my arm right here, like right here. And guess what I got? I hit my radial nerve really hard, and that's why my wrist doesn't work right now. And it's been really tough, guys. It's been really tough. It's been really tough. I had to be out of work for a while, and I am out of work right now, and we'll get into that in a second. But I had to be out of work for a while. Um, I couldn't do anything. I remember on like Christmas when this was all happening, my arm was like completely like this. Like I couldn't move it. I couldn't do anything. My fingers wouldn't move. My wrist wouldn't move. I couldn't lift it. I couldn't even go like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally was just dangling there, super numb, super cold. It hurt so bad. Like I've never experienced pain like that. But it was because I was overdoing it. I was overstretching. I was doing all this stuff that just really didn't help that nerve. I was just irritating it more. You know what I mean? I slept on it weird, but I could have prevented all this from happening if I just kind of calmed down and just kind of let things heal. Okay. So, kind of getting into my tips and tricks, again, learning about your body is going to be really super beneficial with this disorder, guys. If you guys are living with this disorder, really learn about your body and where your more sensitive areas are at. Okay. My sensitive areas are definitely my fingertips for sure. My fingertips get really numb really quickly. Like, seriously, like if I hold onto something like too tight, like this, it goes numb. You know what I mean? So I have to like really pay attention to those areas. Even right now, I've been adjusting myself a lot because my legs are kind of getting really numb. Sitting on your legs is not a good idea. And driving is something that really affects me too. Like I have to get up like every hour to drive because the back of my legs right here will start getting really numb and they'll hurt really bad. Like it's like this specific pain. If you guys are living with this disorder, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a really specific nerve pain, and it can be really painful. And with that being said too, guys, if you guys do experience pain, just don't try to take a lot of these medications like steroids or like ibuprofen and stuff like that because they're not going to help you. Okay, prevention and really just allowing things to just heal and get better and not overdoing it is really going to be your best friend. Okay, guys, that's what's going to really help you heal, and that's what's going to really make you feel better. Okay, stressing about it and overdoing is not going to do you any good. Okay, I get it. I've done it and I've experienced it and I learned the hard way. Okay, guys. But again, learning about the susceptible areas is going to be really important because that's going to really help you in the long run. And also, I do want to emphasize, guys, do not overdo it. If you guys are experiencing like one arm that's not working, don't overdo it on this arm because that's what I've been doing, and I've been starting to experience the same symptom in this arm. Like it's been really numb right here, and I can move everything. My hand works fine, but it's been really numb. It's been hurting me. Like my shoulder hurts really bad. It's really even right now. Like I'm wearing kinesiology tape right now, like some athletic tape on my arm. And I'm telling you, athletic tape will really help get rid of or really help with that pressure too. So that's also a good investment if you do have really sensitive areas or if you have kind of some symptoms kind of flaring up. Some athletic tape would really help kind of get some pressure off those areas. Okay, guys. But that's kind of my experience, guys. That's what I deal with, and this is what I deal with on a daily basis, okay, guys? And I really just want to say it is okay. This is just our reality, okay? We're just different human beings, and that's 100% okay. There's no reason to get scared about this because, again, it can get bad. But look, I'm happy. I'm getting better. Like, seriously, I'm telling y'all, like, I could not move my arm. It was seriously like this for months, like 2 months. And look at me now. I can lift my arm up. Like, my wrist is, like, not all the way there, but, like, I can do, like, some movement. Like, look at that. Like, I can do some things. I can do some things. And I haven't been able to do that since December, guys. So I'm telling you, you will get better. It is up to you just to really make sure you're taking care of your body, really understanding what this disorder is, and really understanding that everyone's different and your body's different than other people, okay, guys? Taking care of yourself and taking care of those areas that's what you just have to do, okay, guys? If you guys can't do something, tell those people, hey, I can't do this. I am living with a disorder. I cannot do this, okay? There's no reason to be afraid of it. And I also want to say that too, guys. If you guys are working and you guys need to be out of work because of symptoms, you do qualify for short-term disability. Okay, guys? You definitely qualify for short-term disability. And if you need to, go see a neurologist, go see someone, and they will get you a note because you do qualify. You will be able to get out of work and get paid for it for this disorder. Okay, guys? Even if things are bad, even though things suck, even though it's super emotional, there's gonna be a brighter side of this, guys. You'll be able to get paid. You will be able to heal. You will be able to feel good and happy and amazing. It's just up to you to take care of those areas of your life, okay, guys? Something that I've been really trying to work on recently is making sure I have a good pillow to sleep with. That's super important, guys. Like having good pillows, having good support while you're sleeping instead of just like, constantly waking up and sleeping on the wrong side. Or just not really paying attention to those things that you could potentially change to make things feel better, okay? Another thing I really want to say too is being active, guys. This is something I'm really trying to work on as well, but being active and building your muscles is going to be your best friend too, because even if you think about it, like just logically, like if you have more muscles, there's less likely like you're going to be able to get those nerves, you know what I mean? If you have more muscle, you're less likely going to be able to hurt those nerves because you have, I guess, more protection kind of around those areas. Okay, guys? Again, I'm not saying it can't happen, but activity, being active, making sure you're moving those nerves around, making sure you're gliding, making sure you're really staying active. I know dancing is really good. I know when I was doing swimming, like I didn't have any of these problems, guys, when I was doing sports or activities or anything like that. I don't have any of these problems, and it's super weird, but it really does help you. Okay, it really does help you. It is really beneficial. And I also want to say too, guys, a lot of people with this disorder are also hypermobile, and hypermobility doesn't do the best on your body too, because sometimes we're hypermobile, we can overextend those parts of ourselves, and we can really hurt our nerves more because we're already irritating our muscles, irritating our joints, and if we're already irritating those areas, they're just gonna get inflamed and inflame our nerves and inflame those areas. So if you guys are starting to experience any type of numbness, any type of sensory stuff, that is your nerve's first warning, guys. That's your first warning that things are going to go downhill from there, guys. So if you guys are experiencing numbness, if things are getting worse, like me right now as I'm moving my legs, if you guys are experiencing the symptoms, move around, move, and don't let it get worse. Don't allow things get worse, because that's all it's gonna do is just make things just worse in the long run, guys. Okay. But this is a community. This is something that it shouldn't be sad. It's going to be emotional. There's going to be ups and downs, guys. I'm telling you, that's just life. You know what I mean? Life's only constant is change, and with change, there's always going to be ups and downs, guys. Okay. So if you guys are really going through it, or if you guys are experiencing a really hard thing, just understand things will get better. Just learn how to prevent, learn how to really take care of yourself, because I know I've been experiencing stuff in this arm, and I'm starting to experience it in this arm, but now I'm experiencing this arm. I'm really trying to take care of myself, really trying to relieve all the pressure, really trying to sleep better. Excuse me, really trying to prevent from overusing this arm before I don't get to the point of this arm. Okay, guys? But I love you guys so much. I know there's not a lot of videos out there that are like newer or that are kind of like this realm of videos, but I hope I gave you guys the best information. I hope it gave you guys, like some just support. Like it's very hard. It's very hard not knowing what is going on with your body, and it can be really stressful. Okay, guys. But if you guys need anything, if you guys just need some support, if you guys just need some love, I'm always here. You just comment down below. Like I got your back. Okay, guys. I love you so much, and I wish you the best of luck through your journey and through this journey of HNPP. Okay.